God will never leave you where you are. He will never forsake you, and he will never lose time when it comes to you. The enemy may try to get you to be delayed. The enemy may try to get you to lose time. The enemy may try to get you to lose focus. But God is always having a ram in the bush for his children. And anybody that comes up against you, anybody that fights against you, when you're covered by God, when you're powered by God, when you're protected by God, I feel bad. I feel sorry for them. The enemy that's fighting against you will face the wrath of the Lord. And while you're in his mercy, while you're in his grace, that's why it's important for us to wake up and just beg the Lord for his mercy, to beg God for his grace. But God told me to tell you that you're in a season of uncomfortability, but it's going to push you into a season of uncommon favor. God says that you might be uncomfortable, but through your uncomfortability, it will push you into a season of uncommon favor, uncommon miracles, uncommon blessings, that God is about to do something because of your yes, because of your obedience. God is about to switch some things. He's about to change some circumstances, things that you've been living in your whole life, things that you have to put up with your whole life. God is about to reroute some paths and some destinies. But this is what I need you to do. I need you to be rooted and firm in the promise of the Lord. I need you to be grounded. I need you to be sure that God is going to work a miracle, even when man says it looks stupid, even when people tell you you shouldn't do it, even when they say that they don't know how you're going to figure it out. You don't have to figure it out. I need you to respond like this: my God will figure it out. My God will cover me. My God will protect me. My God will provide. See, God has a ram in the bush for you. He has a ram in the bush for you. And while people expect you to lose, while they don't expect you to win, God will cover you in every season. While it may look stupid that you're following the plans of the Lord, for your obedience, God is going to bless you. That is the reason why. That's what separates, that's what distincts you from other regular people to being a chosen one, to being called by God. Because when God calls you, you pick up the phone, and it doesn't matter where he projects you. It doesn't matter where he points you. Go to where God called you. That's the difference, and that's your distinction right there. That's the difference from others being blessed and you being blessed. That's why God has millions. That's why God has a CEO company with your name on it. That's why God has a billboard with your face on it. That's why God has blessings, miracles, and messages for you, because you listen. That's why God has signs and wonders for you. That's what's your distinction between a regular child of God and a disciple and a chosen one, and somebody really called by God. That other people may be scared to make the moves that you're able to make with ease for the Lord. That when I preach this all the time, that situations that people would drown in, you swim. You continue to survive in situations. People cannot walk in your shoes. They do not have a reference for where you get your strength, for where you get your power. There is things that God has called other people to do that they did not have the confidence, the obedience to do. But because you believe in God, when he called you, you picked up the phone and you started to walk. When he gave you the direction, when he guided you, when he led you, you listen to the Lord. And that's what your distinction is. That's what separates you from another child of God. That's what makes you glow so well. That's what gives you your glory. That's what gives you your power. See, God knows he can trust you in this season. God knows that he's developed you to trust him. See, some of you went through the craziest storms, the toughest of battles. And if it had not been for the Lord, you wouldn't have survived. But because of your tough battles, listen to me, because of the battles that you faced, listen to me, because of all your tough battles that God is giving you, it makes the little battles, it makes the battles nowadays, it makes it seem so easy to give God your yes, because you have slaved with God, you starved with God, you suffered with God, and you shall reign with God. And so while people are looking at you like, whoa, she must be crazy, he must be crazy, this is never gonna work, because you've already sacrificed, you've already suffered with God. You know it's your time to reign. You know you're in your winning season. You know you're in your reigning season. You know that whatever you put your hands on, it will prosper. You know God has a ram in a bush for you. And while people cannot walk in your shoes, you will walk with dignity and faith. You will walk with your chest out, because you're walking as a warrior. You're walking as a child of God. That's your distinction. You listen when God tells you. See, people might say, I don't know why you're doing this. Oh, you have choices. You can do this. But when God calls you, there is no choice. There is no plan B. There's only a plan A. When God tells you to do something, if you listen to him, you're going to reap the benefits benefits of the seeds you sow from your obedience. See, God will give you a seed of obedience. He will place a seed of obedience in your hand, and then he'll say, go sow it. All you got to do is take that seed and place it in the ground. And then God will produce an apple tree, a miracle tree from that seed that he gave you. All you got to do is listen. Some of you too afraid to listen to God. And so I see some of y'all comments. Most of y'all know what I'm going through. You know my situation. We're moving out. We're moving out. We could have stayed. Yes. Yes, we could have. Easy. It was easy money to stay here. But my warfare is not here anymore. The Lord is calling me out. I have favor over my life. And I listen when God tells me to do something. That's the distinction between me and some of you people. That's the distinction between me and other people of your leaders. That's the distinction. That even though it seems crazy, yes, I'ma still listen because my God is real. See, some of you don't know how real God is. He's a living spirit. He has a voice. He has a taste. God, he has a taste for your obedience. And so some of you, God has been calling you to do small things, and you still haven't listened. He's told you to leave a relationship, to leave somebody behind, and you still haven't listened. But you have people that are heavy hitters in the spirit that you try to crucify for being a child of God, for being obedient to the Lord. See, some people, the ones that really walk by faith, that will make crazy moves for God, that will have crazy faith and move out with nothing, that will go above and beyond for God. Those are the people that God lifts up. Those become your T.D. Jakes and your Oprah Winfreys, and those become your Steve Harveys of the world. Because they had crazy faith enough to believe in God when nothing looked as if it should work out. When it looked as if they should drown, they believed God would keep them in their head up. And so I'm walking in the same faith. No devil in hell is going to scare me out of my position. See, some of you guys, you don't understand. You don't understand what God has for me. And I understand that. You don't understand why I'm making the moves that I'm making. You don't understand. But it's not up for you to understand. You didn't have the conversations I've had with God. You didn't have the experience. You didn't have the knowledge that I have of God. We're on two different revelations. And if you understand God how I understand him, then you know exactly what I'm doing. And you know exactly how smart this move is, even though it's the stupidest. In reality, this is the dumbest move I could make in my life. But spiritually, it's the smartest move I could ever do. I give up everything. God says, for those who give up brothers and sisters and mothers and houses for me will reap 100-fold. I believe in his word. And if I could believe in his word, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And some of you need to walk in the same faith, in the same dignity. Some of you need to have the same respect level for God, knowing that it might look crazy. I might lose friends. I might lose focus, but I will do what God tells me to do at the end of the day, every day. That's how you receive your daily bread. You know, he tells us in Matthew how to pray. You know, our Father, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Give us today our daily bread. How can you get your daily bread if you're not being obedient to the Lord? How can you ask God for his mercy if you don't listen to him? How can you expect him to trust you with blessings if he can't even trust you with leaving a relationship, with leaving an environment, with leaving a habit, with putting down the drugs? How can God trust you? And I can only speak on this because I've been there. You're talking to somebody who was in a homosexual relationship for 8 years, over 9 years. You're talking to somebody who was addicted to drugs for over 10 years. You're talking to somebody, see, y'all don't know my story, who's lost their mother, and had the worst days of my life. I lost my best friend. I lost my grandmother all in 3 years. You're talking to somebody who had nothing, who walked through storms with holes in their socks, who had everybody turn on them. You're talking to somebody who seen all their best friends become jealous of them and walk out when she had nothing. You're talking to somebody that they all turned on, they all counted out. You're not talking to somebody that don't know nothing. You're talking to somebody that know the Lord, that in my worst days, that when I had a gun in my head, ready to end it all, I felt God. And so I know what I'm doing. And it might not make sense. Physically, I don't know what I'm doing, but spiritually, my spirit is seeking after the Lord. I can't find him in this place anymore. I have to be willing to trust him. See, some of you, you're not willing to take a risk for God. I'm willing to take every risk for God. I need you to type down in the comments below, God, I'm willing to take a risk for you. And I pray that this video is giving somebody the motivation, the strength to do something crazy for God, to release a relationship, to stop having sex. It's been years. You're talking to somebody who was addicted to porn, who used to masturbate, who used to self-please, who used to fornicate. You're talking to somebody who has been clean of that for over 3 years. You're talking to somebody that gave up a whole life, that stripped the skin for God. You're not talking to somebody that's easy to blow. You're talking to somebody that had to cry nights when drugs could have helped. When sex could have helped, when laying on the lap of a woman could have helped. You're talking to somebody who said, God, I give you everything. Change me and use me. You're talking to somebody who's fully submitted. And so I give you the strength in this video to let go and release whatever it is God is telling you to let go of. The more you trust God, the more he will build your faith, and you will be able to make crazy moves off of your crazy faith. This is a crazy move. We in an empty apartment. Today's the last day. Here. Nothing makes sense. We don't have enough money. I have a dog that is sleeping. The house is empty. The car is old. But I'ma still go. I'ma still listen. It doesn't make sense. But I'm going to still listen. I'm going to be led to the still waters by my Father because I trust him. Guys, I want to thank you for rocking with me and being with me on this channel and experiencing this journey with me. You guys don't know, we will be living in a car. We will be moving out. And this is a sure thing, and I'm sure of it. I'm sure of the decisions I'm making. I know my God will cover me. But we will be moving out and living in our car as of the end of today. Yes, we are leaving this comfortable apartment, this wonderful apartment that I've faced attacks, demonic warfare with every day. I've had to war with neighbors, and I've been trapped at a certain level until I found the Lord and he broke me through. And so we don't have a destination point, or we don't have I have a destination, but we don't have another house to go to right now. We will be on the road, but I want to tell you guys something. I want to thank you for rocking with me on my channel and for loving me and leaving the comments and loving on me when I needed it the most. I would read y'all comments and smile and remember that God can work through people to bless me, and remember that God can allow someone to uplift my spirit on my worst days or the days that I feel like I need someone. I don't have family members. I don't have friends. And this is probably the reason you can understand why I'm going to go sleep in a car. But I'm also going to go search the Lord for the Lord. I'm going to go find him. I'm going to move from this area, from all I know, and I'm leaving it all behind. There's a lot of things that I left behind in this very apartment, and I'm ready to leave even more behind from this state. And so all of my family and all of my friends, man, are you guys. I don't have physical family. I don't have physical friends. And I think that that's just the Lord's plan and will in my life right now. And I'm okay with that until he brings in the people that he wants, that are God-fearing. See, all of my friends from the past, all of my family members from the past, they are not God-fearing. And so I was being led down the wrong ways. I was being treated and mishandled the wrong ways until God started to call me away from cousins and uncles. And away from all my family, everybody that I ever knew, all my best friends. God started to call me away from those people. And I had to leave them. I had to leave everybody behind to follow God, to find true love. People that were secretly jealous or envious of me. People that didn't care for me how I cared for them. God said, I need you to let them go. And it took years for me to let people go. It took certain years for me to break soul ties and bonds with people, but I did it for the Lord. And now we're moving even farther away. with nothing and nobody, and we're really going into the wilderness, but I know God is going to lead me to my milk and honey through the wilderness. And I know that it won't be a 40-year journey. I know that it will be an 11-day journey. I know that because of my obedience, God will lead me to somewhere safe, to still waters. I do want to tell you guys that I will be taking a break off of YouTube. I'm going to miss you guys, but I got some business to handle. I don't know how long the break will be. Y'all, it could be a couple days, it could be a couple weeks, it could be a month, it could be some more months. I don't know, guys. But you guys are my family. And when I see you again, just know that it's because of the Lord, and he's giving me a direction to get back on the camera. This journey is going to be a little rough. I don't know if we're going to be back, if I'm going to see y'all in 3 days, or if I'm going to see you in a week, or if I'm going to see you in 2 years, 3 years. But I do know that we're searching for the Lord. And so this is going to be my last video for a while, or until the Lord tells me to get back on. And I know we have to handle some business. You guys have been donating and sowing and doing everything into the ministry. I thank you. If you've watched any older videos and the Lord puts it in your heart to donate or to sow a seed, guys, that will all be in the descriptions down below. The links will be in the descriptions. Sow your seeds. I always say that you don't have to sow your seed to this ministry unless the Lord guides your heart, unless he leads your heart to sow it to this ministry. But if you feel firmly in your spirit that the word was for you, that you know that God is telling you to do something and he's urging you to do something, I need you to sow that seed, put the seed into the ground. God gave you the word, which was the message, and then now you take the word and you sow it into the ground. You sow it, you put faith behind it. So you can put the money in an envelope and sow it to your local church because of the word you heard today or any of my other videos. But just sow your seed to any message that God is leaving you. He's giving you revelation to sow a seed to. And if God leads you to sow it to the ministry, sow it to the ministry. It'll all be in the descriptions down below, my Cash App and everything, y'all. But any ways you can help or donate will be in the links in the descriptions down below. Today is going to be our last day here. Literally, we will not be here another night. We will not be over another night. Today is the day we leave. And I will see you guys when I see you, when the Lord leads me back to you guys. I love you guys so much. And I'm praying for you guys. I'll be praying for all of my subscribers on the road. I'm asking the Lord to cover you guys in your houses and your homes. And I'm asking him to give you uncommon confidence in the Lord, that he will do something in your life that you didn't see coming and that your enemies didn't plan on. And I want to let you know that anybody that ever tries to touch a child of God while God is using them, while God is using them to further and to advance his kingdom, they will go down by fire. They will be forced down by fire. I'm telling you. So anybody that's coming against you while you're being obedient to God, anybody that's saying negative things against you while you're being obedient to God, God will for surely show up and have his righteous judgment or punishment on the enemy. So I want you to be firm, that knowing that God will not allow weapons to come against you and form against you. I love you guys so much, and I don't know when you're gonna hear from me. So I was fixing my nose ring, but I love y'all, and if you don't hear back from me, just know I'm with the Lord. If you do, I don't know when he's gonna tell me to get back on this camera, but I know that we're gonna take a break. For now. And I don't know when I'm going to see y'all again, but pray for me. Peace.